Today I am going to talk on what life sciences cluster in DRDO is doing for soldier and society. In DRDO we have 7 verticals: combat engineering, armor, electronics, naval system, missile and aeronautics. And life sciences is another vertical which you may be knowing DRDO for the reason of weapon system development like missile, radar, sonars and many other systems. But then DRDO also has a soft face, which I always feel life sciences is the soft face of DRDO, where we look after the man behind the weapon. Because we are trying to empower men, enable men using technologies which can enable him from outside and also from inside. The Indian Army is a capital or human intensive army. We have about 15 lakhs of armed forces personnel. Beside this, we have paramilitary, which is about 13 lakhs, and Central Reserve Force, which is about 11 lakhs. So we are trying to enable this man from using technologies, science-driven technologies, so that we can facilitate and optimize performance of this soldier, which is posted in extremes of environmental conditions. For this, we have 9 labs. We have 3 labs which are across Trans-Himalayan region. One is in Leh, which is defensive high altitude research. Other is in Haldwani, which is bioenergy research lab, and one is in Tejpur, which is defense research laboratory. These 3 laboratories are mainly agriculture science lab. Then we have 3 laboratories in Delhi, which mainly are involved in selection of the armed forces personnel, right man for the right job. Then we have one lab, DPAS, which is mainly looking after the optimization of the performance under extreme environmental conditions. Then we have INMAS, Institute of Nuclear Medicine and Life Sciences, which looks after what are the effects on the human system when radiological waves are there and how to protect it. Then we have one very important lab in DRD Gwalior, which is mainly working on the chemical and biological warfare. We have DEBL, which is in Bangalore, which is working on life support system to the human, and I will be talking some of the system which they have developed. Then one lab we have in Mysore, which is Defense Food Research Laboratory, which works on post-harvest technology and has come out with a lot of food package which are directly have a lot of benefit to the armed forces wherever they are posted. Before I talk about some of the technologies, I cannot cover all the technology and product. I will try to talk of some of the products and processes which are in place and which are being used by armed forces, and a spin-off, it always goes to the society. If we look at the Indian map, we have in the north, where we have high mountains, where our soldiers are posted even at an altitude as high as 21,000 feet, where there is a cold and hypoxia which coexist. If we look at the desert side, Jaisalmer, Barmer, we have temperature rising to about 48, 49 degrees. And with less humidity, and if someone is in tank compartment, the temperature can be much more than this, with toxic fumes which are surrounding that environment. If we look at the peninsular region, it's the hot and humid heat. Then we also have soldiers posted in low intensity conflict. This is a new environment which has come in last 6 to 7 years, where the enemy is in the group. So there is a constant stress on each of the member of that battalion or that unit, that something may happen at any point in time. Then we have people, those are scuba divers. Then underwater we have people at those who are at high altitude. And all this are different kind of stressful environmental conditions which they are exposed. Not only this, we also have a threat, bioterrorism threat of nuclear, biological and chemical warfare agents. And besides this, the noise, pollution, everything which they are exposed to. So we are trying to work out some of the solutions, some of the strategies. How can we ameliorate, combat these stresses, make them more mobile? We can reduce morbidity, reduce mortality. So there are some strategies which are in place. We work on some of the physiological and pharmacological solutions. We also work on chemical, biological, radiological, nuclear warfare agents by looking at how to detect them, how to protect the individual, how to decontaminate that facility, and how to manage them medically. Then how can we modulate the environment where the soldiers are there? We are not looking for a perfect modulation. We don't want them to be in an air-conditioned room of 24 degrees. We are looking for, if the outside temperature is -10, can we put it at +4 degrees inside that bunker or inside that room where the soldiers are posted in extremes of environmental condition. Then nutritional, there is a saying, army marches on its stomach. And nutrition is one very important area which our labs are working, where we are providing them the right nutrition at different places. And for this, a lot of work is being done. I will be talking some of it. Then ergonomic and human factor research. This is again very important, because most of the systems which are imported, the ethnometric data is from the Western population. Even the protective personal devices, uniform. Most of the data which goes in the formulation of this uniform is from the Western side. But in last almost 2 decades, we have been able to collect this data on more than 50,000 soldiers, which have gone in designing the personal protective devices, uniform, and other things. Even if you look at the physical anthropometry, like Gorkha and the Jat soldier, there is a difference of 30 centimeters in height. So how to make man fit into a machine? For this, one of our lab works on the ergonomic designing and give the ergonomic inputs to the system labs. And then their technology is available. Only thing is, what we are doing is we are customizing this technology to these extremes or environmental conditions. Otherwise, most of the technology which I am going to talk, you will find them available maybe in the planes. But customizing them to these extremes location poses some other kind of challenges which I will be talking to you. Then, it is like I can tell you in a simple way, we look after the soldier need, like roti, kapda, makan, and thereafter many more things. So first is how to select the right person for the right job. So we have one lab in Delhi which had designed lot of selection system which are in place. Army is using them, like selection system for officers, for pilot, for military intelligence, selection system for sharpshooters, and many more. And not only this, we are also have given this selection system for UPSC, for NSG, and many other organizations which are not within the gambit of Indian Armed Forces. We are also looking after the selection of soldier. How do we retain him? How do we train him? How do we skill him so that as he goes through his journey in his service, he becomes better and better and is able to perform best. We also are working in terms of combat stress management. That's very important. I think every one of us undergoes stress every day, and management of stress is very important, and it becomes more important when we talk of armed forces personnel. Operation support. I'm going to talk on 2 areas, human performance and how to improve habitability. Human performance, as I said, after the selection, how to make them educate in terms of nutrition requirement. Water is one. And one of the problems in Northeast, most of the water potability system, how to make water potable, most of the research which has been done by lab which is in Tejpur, is because of the water availability there. It is the water which is there has lot of iron, arsenic. And if you just put the water in the bucket, you can see the color is not transparent, it is brick red. So iron content is about 50 to 55 parts per million. For this, first there we have designed some detection kits which are there. One of the detection, even the vital poison detection kit is also the part of the MBC program. Then we have been able to design different kind of water potable system which can be used in household where the people are 4 to 6, in a community or in the unit or in the battalion, and we have different kind of system, iron removal system, arsenic removal system. Now we have also combined iron and arsenic together, and then these are being installed in some of the location, North Sea, Misamari and other strategic places in Northeast. These systems are functional and we are able to scale up this activity, and the TOT has been done. Then after providing the clean water, now the next is how to give them the right amount of energy. I must tell you that in extremes of environmental condition, energy requirements are different. They are more than in plains for various reasons, like for high altitude. When one is at high altitude, energy requirements are more because of the 3 regions. One is the basal metabolic rate of the individual increases, other is clothing, protective clothing which one is wearing, and third is because of the terrain which is not simple. So energy requirements are higher and they become higher as the altitude increases. For this, DPAS has designed 17 kind of ration scale, high altitude ration scale, Meghdut ration scale, peace ration scale, field ration scale, submarine ration scale, unified ration, coast guard ration scale, and all this. And this is in vogue. Army uses our whatever we recommend, and every 7 to 10 years we revise this scale for the very obvious reason, because of the climate change which is there, and because of the technological advances which also give different kind of environment to the soldiers, and because of this their physical and physiological functions may be changing and they may not be coming to the peak level. Then after determining the energy requirement, the next is how to make this energy available to them in terms of fresh food, in terms of processed food. And this one lab which is in Leh, where Leh, if you, anyone who has visited Leh, it is a cold arid desert, Sukha Thanda Registan, where most of the time, about 6 to 7 months, it is landlocked, it is covered with snow, and the fertile period is about 4 to 5 months. So this lab at Leh in the last almost 3 decades has worked on standardizing some of the technologies and techniques which can grow more variety of vegetables. This lab has standardized the propagation of 73 vegetables which grow there. And not only this, they are also working how to increase milk, meat, poultry availability using some of the technologies. They have also installed normobaric chamber there so that we can have better hatching, and the hatching has increased from 20% to about 65%. Besides this, this region is very well with all these herbs which grows there. There are about 1200 species of herbs which are exclusively to those regions. So using those herbs, we are also have come out with some product which can improve performance and facilitate performance. And another thing which is very specific to this region is a zero energy storage. So we are going to, we have one construction which has been done at Changla, where we can store seed and which can be used if there is any case when the seed availability is not there, or there is some kind of agro-bioterrorism effect, because IARI is doing this in Pusa, where they spend a lot of bill on electricity, about 25 lakhs or so per month. And then we are also working on transgenic vegetables, where we have made cold tolerant tomato plant, which is a diver lab which has done it. Now we are doing the field trials in high altitude at Leh Ladakh. We have also got into micro farming, because one thing which there is a saying, when you when there is a peak winter, if you show a chilli and 1,000 rupees note to a soldier, he will prefer his chilli than the 1,000 rupees note. This is a kind of starvation in terms of green leafy vegetables availability in those regions. So lately we have been able to standardize this at more than 17,000 feet, and these green leafy vegetables, even small portion if put into the diet, it can increase hedonicity, palatability, and give some kind of flavor to the whole food which is being served. And we have done this, and we have also got the nutrient analysis, and they are rich in fiber and other micronutrients, and also in antioxidant. These are some of the different kind of greenhouses which have been standardized, developed, depend on the economic status of the farmer, they can use it. Trench cultivation is the lowest form of the greenhouse. It doesn't require much. Only thing is it is covered with the black polythene. In the daytime, we remove the polythene. In the right time, we put the polythene so that heat conservation can be there. Polyhench. This is a greenhouse which state government also gives them 50% subsidy. It is made from the all the raw material available there, and then it again provides good insulation, about 10 to 12 degrees, and people can grow vegetables in the peak winter at least for 2 to 3 months. Then again, as I said, technology which I am talking of, they are not very great technology. Only thing is there is standardization in those environmental conditions, like vermicomposting in Ladakh. This we took about 3 years to standardize this technique. We took this art form from sea level in one of the lab in ICR, and then it took us about 3 years for this art form to adapt, acclimatize, and then do the fermenting. Similarly, Potato, again this technology, CIPC technology has been standardized. Potato is one of the very important part of the fresh food availability. About 170 gram per day is the requirement which has been posed, and then this helps us in providing potato to the soldiers throughout the year. Onion set technology, through this technology we are able to increase the productivity about 200%. And it's a large kind of onion which is available and it is being given to the armed forces there. Then after fresh food, then post-harvest management is again important. For this, our lab has been able to give some of the food products to the armed forces depending on their posting, like meal ready to eat, compo ration, emergency flying ration, survival pack, main battle tank ration, submarine crew ration, and Marcos. And the important thing is they were also used in some of the operation through Indo-Pak war, even during the Operation Kargil Vijay, Operation Vijay, all the food was supplied from this lab. During surgical operations, we were able to supply the food to the people who were involved in these operations. More than 400 technologies has been transferred. They are there in the public domain. And the specific thing which I want to talk about is the shelf life of the processed food is not just 6 months or 1 year. It has to be more than 1 year, because these food have to be transported to the remote locations. It takes some time, and then again renewal takes time. So we always look for the shelf life of more than 1 year. Most of the lab which I am talking of life sciences, they came into existence after Indo-China war, after 1962. And the mandate was how to improve the survivability of the people who are posted into different environmental conditions. As we know, we lost the Indo-China, during the Indo-China war, our soldiers were not fit to fight a war at high altitude. They suffered because they were not acclimatized. For this, one of the lab has been able to give them an acclimatization schedule and tenure of posting. This was the problem posed to us by our users, armed forces personnel. After a lot of R&D, we gave them 3 phases of acclimatization to high altitude. First phase is from 2700 to 3600 meters. This is first 2 days complete rest, 3 and 4 days slow pace walk to till 1.5 to 3 kilometers. Then another next 2 days walk up to 5 kilometers, but also climb up till 300 meters. Then second stage is 4 days of acclimatization from 3600 meters to 4500 meters. First 2 days slow walk for 1.5 to 3 kilometers. Next, third day walk up to 5, and day 4 one can climb even with the equipment. Third day is a similar point which I want to emphasize here. Because of this acclimatization schedule which is in place, Army uses it. High altitude mountain sickness symptoms have reduced from 30% to about 5 to 7%. Using anyone who follows this acclimatization schedule that makes that minimizes the acute mountain sickness symptoms. If they are minimized, other diseases like high altitude pulmonary edema, high altitude cerebral edema will also be minimized. Then another question which was posed to us, what should be the tenure of posting? Because at different altitude, there will be different kind of physiological responses, and sometimes there may be a maladaptation. So after a lot of R&D, we have given them 3 tenure till 4000 meters, one can be for 2 years. Between 4200 meters to 4800 meters, one can be for 1 year. And above 4800 meters, they can be just for 12 weeks. I can tell you, above 4800 meters, high altitude acclimatization is not possible. It is initially one gets the feeling of well-being, but then the pathological conditions take toll on the body system, and one may suffer from some of the high altitude maladies. This is the installation of 50-man oxygen-rich shelter. This is part of the strategy for rapid acclimatization and high altitude. If there is an operation requirement, if the troops have to be mobilized to fight a war at extreme altitude, this is one of its kind which has been put up by DPAS at about 16,000 feet in Giagaon, and it is oxygen enrichment is by oxygen generator which are put in place, and we are maintaining the temperature using solar energy and also the phase change material. So it is a structure about 16 square feet in area, and then it has sleeping room, it has sitting room, it has medical room, it has pantry, and also attached bio toilet. Technology for human waste, I think initially when we started with technology, we were concerned about how to dispose the human waste at high altitude or for the cold region. So it was a consortium of bacteria which were, part of it was from Antarctica, and then we were able to make this inoculum, and then initially we installed this biodigestor at high altitude, but I think some of you may know this has become a success story. Now we have given this technology to more than 76 firms. We have been able to install this at various locations, and there are a lot of variant of this. We have biodigester for one man, we have for community, we have for railways, and also for Andaman Nicobars, wherever there are islands and many other places. So this is, again, where this is in a big way we are doing it. As we know, defecation, open defecation is one of the Indian problem. I think Government of India is also emphasizing it a lot, and if go by statistics till 2011, 70% of people still go for open defecation. This is one such step in this direction which integrates society with the scientist. Improved space heating device is another small, it's again low on technology but high on numbers. I know I was in lab for almost 3.5 years. Every year there used to be some death because of the CO poisoning. This Bukhari is fuel efficient. It is anti-blast devices there which works on Bernoulli's principle, and also CO emission is below permissible limit. And this again we have been able to design, TOT has been done, and last year BSF has placed an order of about 2,000, and many more are in pipeline. Another thing, yoga, I think I need not emphasize what yoga can do, but then what we have done is we have scientifically validated these yoga packages, customized them for some of the extreme environment like high altitude, Air Force personnel who is flying, Navy personnel which are in submarines, health promotion, even for cold and confined environment. And every year we are scaling up this activity. We are training the trainers in different locations, and these trainers then train more people, and these trainers are able to impart this training to a large number of people. And lately we have also worked with S. Vyasa and made a yoga package for people who are going to Antarctica. And this has really, a lot of good reports are there, and maybe at some other forum I will be able to present that. Because of the lot of herbs which are very specific to these regions, we have a lot of herbal products. I am just mentioning 4 of them, otherwise a number of products are there. Leukosil, it's again a product which is used for leukoderma treatment. The TOT has been given to ML company, and then we are getting, it is being available on shelf and people are using it. Allocal, again it's a aloe vera based cream. Again, low in technology, Allocal acts through three ways. First, it is a vasodilator, then it prevents platelet aggregation, and it is a thermogenic. So this can be used as a preventive and therapeutic measure when people are going for patrol duty in the night for combating cold stress. Then Herbo Healer, this product is targeted not just for the normal wound, also for the diabetic wound. Then we have another herbal anti-stress adaptogen. This is the mushroom cordyceps which grows in some of the frontier regions of the Uttarakhand. This is a mushroom, and then China has lot of products made out of it, and then we have also made this project which is, we have done animal trials, and now we have done small limited human trials also. Life support system, one lab which is DEBEL, which is Bangalore, has been working in this area. I am just putting 5 of this, but there are large number of products which has come out of this lab. One is high altitude pulmonary edema bag. This bag is in market, TOT has been done. The advantage of this lab is, this is the first defense against high altitude pulmonary edema. These bags are there in all the field ambulances in northern, eastern and western sector. So as soon as the person suffers from high altitude pulmonary edema, he is put into this bag. There is a positive pressure which is created, and it is able to emulate these high altitude pulmonary edema symptoms, and then after that the person can be descended to sea level. The anti-juice suit, I know this, you know that because of the because of the G, when one is flying high, the blood starts pulling in the limbs, and this is a positive pressure device which makes the blood flow to the upper extremities and also to the head. Then we have a physiological monitor system. You know, again, these physiological monitoring devices are the military grade devices. I can tell you any small air packet in the equipment will deflate when one goes to high altitude and instrument doesn't function. I know sometimes our laptop will stop functioning when we are there for some of our trials. So these are some of the things which have been worked out for life support system. Telemedicine, again, this we are working for Air Force and Navy. Navy has already adopted this, and we are, the firm which is given the TOT will be getting an order to the tune of about 62 crores, and then it sends the signal in the real time, and then it can be from any place in remote location, the signal can be sent to some of the tertiary hospital, and this we have tried from Hunter to the hospital in Chandigarh. Hunter, which is at about 17,000 feet at high altitude. Then NBC's technologies, this is another important area because now, because of the asymmetric war, we will have more of nuclear, biological or chemical agents which may be there, and you know the latest example of Syria, where this attack, biological or chemical attack was there. So we are also working in this area, want to sense, how can we detect, how can we also understand or simulate or what kind of impact it will have in terms of location, in terms of the area. Then how can we shield, how can we protect those people who are being attacked, and how can we sustain, or in the terms how can we do the medical management so that they become better. So for this we have a lot of technologies. Not only this, we are also partnered with NDM and NDMA guidelines. We have been into some of the technology equipments which we have been designed. Then we are also one of our labs, this is very important, we are also member of OPCW, Organizational Prohibition of Chemical Warfare Agents, and this, because of this, or anywhere, whenever there is a chemical or biological warfare, the test sample comes to us for testing and for validating. And we were also the part of Commonwealth in terms of if there may be chances of any of these agents threat. Then in northeast, in Tejpur, you know, there is one chili which grows, Bhoot Jalokia. This is very hot chili, hottest chili of the world grows there. And using this, and also we took out the active ingredient, we have been able to design this grenade, capsi grenade or chili grenade. And it is again being taken by, TOT has been given, it has been taken by some of the state like Madhya Pradesh and Chhattisgarh and also paramilitary forces. It is very effective in mob dispersal, women's safety and crime prevention. Technology for societal mission, we have a Society for Biomedical Technology. We have developed many products. It started when Dr. Abdul Kalam was there, and he used to get touched by the common man, and he says, why not I use my brain to relieve pain of the people. And in this series we have a lot of products. Here again, this has been customized for the Indian conditions, and it is mainly the cost which is very important. Like for Kalam Raju stunt, this costs about 10,000 to 15,000 vis-a-vis what is available internationally, which may cost us more than 60,000. More than 2,000 stent had been used. Then floor reaction orthosis, this is for the people, especially for the polio victims. It is a composite material, works on cantilever principle. The technology is transferred to one of the car industry. And there are many critical care ventilator. Again, it is 1/3 of the cost which we get from outside, and technology is transferred to Precol, Combitur, and it is being used by many hospitals. Then also we are part of the societal missions in different places. Then extension services, because as I science, soldier and society should be together, and this is, we are working through farmers cooperative society model, where farmers grow the vegetables and provide these vegetables to the armies. In that process, army gets the fresh food and the farmers gets economically better. Then we have other missions at high altitude. Seabugthorn, I think this is well known. Seabugthorn, initially when it was there, some of the people from that lab, layer area approached and they wanted, it's a weed which is growing and they wanted to get rid of it. But then through the R&D we came to know it's a very important plant. And now Seabugthorn berry, which was of no use, now they are sold at, this year they were sold at 55 rupees per kg. And then we are also into some other societal mission where we involve society at large. So I think at the end I just want to say that working for the armed forces as a spin-off, we also work for the society, especially in the border areas. When we integrate society and soldier together, it insulates them from internal security, brings a good bonding, and also uplift the society in terms of economic and other things also. So this is a good model where we are integrating science and society, and we also believe, if not important, if weapon system development is important, even the human man behind the machine is equally important, if he's not more important, because if he is not fine in physiologically and mental functions, then how will he operate those weapon systems? And in this process we try to update, upgrade, and make him more capable by enabling him with technologies. Thank you.